We're in Psalm 26. I'd like to do a couple things today. I'd like to read the psalm together just to get a sense of it. I'd like to talk about two of these verses. And then I want to close with a few thoughts just about the Psalms in general, because I'm going to switch genres in the next few days, where we're going to move towards Thanksgiving, and I really want to focus on Psalms of thanks. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But let's read Psalm 26 as we start November. Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in mine integrity. I've trusted also in the Lord. Therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash my hands in innocency. So I will compass thine altar, O Lord. Or so will I compass thine altar, O Lord, that I may publish with the voice of thanksgiving, and tell all thy wondrous works. Lord, I have loved the habitation of thy house, and the place where thine honor dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hand is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me. Be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregations will I bless the Lord. The context of this psalm is pretty clearly that David is worshiping in a congregation with people. He's at the grounds of the tabernacle where they're offering and they're pouring out, supposed to be pouring out themselves in love and honor and worship and with integrity and purity to God. And they're supposed to be in that moment kind of doing two things, and this is still true today. When we come into God's presence, either on a moment like this or with others in church, we ought to be doing two things. Number one, we ought to be celebrating His goodness, His grace, His love, His loving kindness for us, and all that He's done for us. But there ought to also be a counter view, and that is that we are asking Him and seeking His examination. And we're seeking to come into His presence that we might grow and be changed and transformed. And so we are celebrating Him and not merely exploiting Him for what He brings to us, but we are allowing ourselves to be laid open before Him and saying, Lord, examine us. And that's what David is doing in this psalm. He is worshiping, he is celebrating, but he's also asking God to judge him and evaluate him. And we talked about that on Friday. Judge me, O Lord. I've trusted in the Lord. I shall not slide. Examine me, Lord. Prove me. Try my reins and my heart, my innermost being, Lord. I'm laying it open before you. It's astounding to me that God is a safe place. When we've trusted in His mercy, when we've trusted in His salvation, at that point we have nothing to hide and no reason to fear. Perfect love casts out fear. And so we can come before God and completely open up ourselves and say, God, you try me, you prove me, you put me to the test, and you change me. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes. I have walked in thy truth. I think we talked about this verse, but David is setting God before him, living, dwelling in the sense and in the experience of His loving kindness. And he's choosing a direction. God, you are my direction. I'm following you. And then the counter view of this is verse 4. I'm choosing not to. Okay, I'm paraphrasing, but let me read it. I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. Now, these words sometimes are not familiar to us, but dissemblers are those that unfold diabolical plans in secret. Okay, it literally means to be concealed or hidden or unaware of. It's the subtext. It's the alternate narrative. It's what's really going on. And David was a politician. He was a political leader. I don't know that calling him a politician is the right way to say it, because he wasn't really elected. He was a political leader in an ancient sense, okay? I've not sat with vain persons. David was surrounded by vanity, people that just wanted to climb the ladder around him, people that wanted to use him or exploit him, people that wanted to use doublespeak with him, that had plans they had made in private. They were deceivers, they were liars, there were hypocrites all around him. And when David goes to worship, he's going to get away from all that. But unfortunately, he finds that there's vanity and those same people, those same people that were lying to him in his meetings and conniving and putting together diabolical plots and plans. They're showing up at the grounds of the tabernacle, and they're going through the motions, and they're singing, and they're doing their offerings, and while they're doing their offerings, before and after and around the time, they're even cutting deals with other worshipers that are there, and it's all business. Isn't that the same way today? For some people, church is all business. Church is all multi-level marketing opportunity, connections and opportunities. But David says, I'm going to go. Number one, I'm still go to church. I'm going to still go to the tabernacle and worship God. I'm still going to go to the congregation, but I am going to choose my crowd. And that's the takeaway of verses 4 and 5. I have not sat with vain persons, and neither will I go in with dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers and will not sit with the wicked. Now, this does not mean you come into church and you start to look either way and you're like, no, that guy looks pretty wicked. I think I'll sit over there. But it does mean in David's day that there truly were wicked people who were showing up in the congregation. He knew they were wicked. It shouldn't have been, but it was a reality in this day. And just in his approach to life and worship altogether, David said, there's a certain kind of people I'm going to draw to, and there's a certain kind of people I'm going to avoid. And my friend, I just want to encourage you, as you go through life, whatever age you are, whatever life stage you are, draw close to those that draw you closer to the Lord. Find those friends, find those life companions that encourage your walk with Christ, and do not feel any obligation, do not feel any hesitation to stepping away, to stepping out of the company, to creating some distance from those that are living in vanity, dissembling, trying to draw you into it, evildoers or wicked. Just don't hesitate for a second to be wise concerning that which is good and simple concerning that which is evil. Walk away from it. Turn it off, change the channel, get away from that crowd, and let God lead you and guide you. And even if it means you walk alone for a little while, that's not so bad. It's better to walk alone with God than to find companionship or to be influenced by a crowd that's going to corrupt me and draw me down the wrong path. When you are around the crowd that wants to influence you for the bad, for the wrong, take the high ground and you be the greater influencer. You decide when you enter those crowds, no, I'm coming here with influence. I don't need their acceptance or affirmation. I don't need their companionship. I'm coming here because they need mine. They need my influence, and I'm going to be a voice for the gospel. Well, I'm kind of out of time, and that's because I spent too much time talking about Sunday. So we'll pick up tomorrow, not only with this psalm, but with some thoughts I want to share with you about the Psalms in general, just the whole book of Psalms. And then I want to get your mind geared towards, we're going to turn a corner into some Psalms of Thanksgiving this month. There are 5 or 6 different types of Psalms we'll talk about tomorrow. And through much of November, we're going to focus on Psalms of Thanksgiving. So thanks for joining me today. Happy Monday. Have a great week ahead. I hope you join me every day this week as we continue through Psalm 26. And until tomorrow, have a great day.